back. All right, we have a lot of governments, as you can see, quite a few here. All of them are governments. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 companies. That's about what you would hope for or expect for. So the game is pretty balanced right now. There may not be as much of a strong run on trains from here on out. Now, with that said, we're near the end, and I'm trying to push to the end because my friends are coming tomorrow. It is 6:30 p.m., and I believe I still have quite a few more hours to go, especially when you're filming as you go. That always slows you down. Now, I did take care of some household stuff. So while I was doing that, I did move everybody to government. So you'll see everybody's flipped over like this, and we have our trains, and that's going to be the case over there as well. But the bigger thing is we still have the final 3 stack. You can see WW, MZA, and MKV. All right, so they have left to go, and I've already laid down their track. So in Russia, you can see almost all the whistle stops are now brown, and that was part of, because there's 2 Russian companies, I was able to do 12 points and upgrades. So that's what I did. I made sure all the whistle stops were up. And MZA, I did the same thing. I upgraded whistle stops over here and 1 city to brown. So I did not calculate revenue yet, so I'm going to do WW right now. And WW has a 5+5 train, and it's definitely going to do an OE run. So let's get that going. And the OE run is obviously going to be Constantinople, and then we're going to have to hit Kharkov because that's where their token is. That's 2. And then Moscow for 3, and then St. Petersburg for 4, and then we'll add another, that MKV city for 5. Now, if we wanted to lay a token in St. Petersburg, we could. He still has just a $20 token, and then that would let us skip Kharkov here, and then we can go over there to get an $80 city. And in fact, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go grab 20 bucks from his money. And let's get a token out there. And I was laughing because when I was leaning over the table to put that on, I have this big stack of money here on BHB, and I hit it with my belly and almost knocked it over. So anyways, just silly stuff. But okay. So with that said, we're going to now hit the Sweden area. So Sweden is 80, St. Petersburg is 80, and Moscow is 80, and then it's 140 for Constantinople, and then you just add one of the $60 stops along the way. Okay, very good run. And then there's no doubt in my mind there's 5 times 20 in whistle stops. So 54 a share for WW, and he has 5 shares, so 54 times 5. He's getting $270. So that's really good. His stack of bling is just getting blinger. So 250, 60, 70. He is just rolling in dough for having just $60 companies. So I think that's the thing. His share value is low, but his cash value is high. So is it going to be enough? We don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. So WW is going to get out to the 150 marker. So WW has a lot of shares, and he's on the shelf, as you can see, for 150. We can only buy 1 more share of WW. So WW is going to sell. He can't afford to buy a train right now. He does have 2 more track points, I'm noticing. We're going to let it go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shares at 150 each. So that's some good bling. He's going to get $750. But remember, he can't buy a train with that. That's the last thing in the round that he does. So he's already past the phase where he was allowed to buy a train. But he does have $750 for the next time, and that's really good. because WW was not one of the companies he's going to go national with. MKV is the other one he's not going to go national with. So we're going to do the same. MKV has a 5+5, so he's actually going to run the exact same route. What did he make? Do you remember? Oh, crap. Got to do this again. Okay, so 140 plus 80 plus 80 plus 80 plus 60 plus 100 in whistle stops. Yeah, 54 a share. WW actually made 54 times 5. He made 270 as well, and I forgot to give that to him. 250, 60, 70. So he has a lot of money all of a sudden. So it's the same deal, except he only has 4 shares. So 216 is going to go to Troikovsky, and 324 is going to go to MKV. So 216 to Troikovsky. That's still amazing money. And then what did we say? 324 to MKV. MKV is sitting on about $400. But MKV's got the exact same story. It's going to bump up 1, 2, 3, 4, and how it got one above MSP, I don't know. I thought they were all on the same track. And MSP did an OE run as well. Oh, what's going on? I don't think MSP ever failed to hit his number, did it? I don't know why it's behind. My logic tells me MSP should be the same place as the other ones, because all of his Russian companies basically did the same thing the whole game. But I'll let it go. So 150 a share, and he's going to take it at 6 shares, because that's how many he has available. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 shares. It's $900. That's not bad. So $900 for MKV. Okay, now there is a rule that there can't be more than 5 shares in the marketplace. That's for when players are selling shares. The rules get a little nebulous about when companies are selling shares. So we play that the company can dump, because whether it sits in the company or whether it sits in the bank, it should make no difference, other than the fact that the company just doesn't make the money. So, so we let companies dump. We don't let players dump, because there's a reason you hold players to only being able to dump 5. The company's not so much. And of course, that's what the value of the shelf is, right? If you wait long enough, you can sell for $150 a share. So even if nobody's buying your shares, your company can still get some huge money. Those companies that are up at the top of they can sell, but their stock value will plummet, and they get punished for selling. So they're forced to hold on to their shares. So that's sort of the yin and yang with it. And the shelf play is an integral part of this game, and you saw it. And that's where Trump gets hurt. I mean, look at MZA now. It's dead last. And Trump was ready to do a run. He could have kept it from being a national, but he didn't. So off he goes here. Let's see. He has a 6+6. So we're going to just do the red zones around Spain here. So we have 40 for 1, 60 for 2, 80 for 3, then 60 for the Portugal for 4, 80 for Madrid for 5, and then 60 for 6. And since I did a $40 one, I'm going to add just 20 more because there was another Y city available. So 400, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, easily 6 whistle stops. $52 a share times 3. Trump gets $156. So it's something. Trump didn't have that many shares of it, so that's why he's not getting much. And that brings us to the end of the round. So we go to the stock round. Okay, so stock round is Trump first. And Trump has some difficult decisions. But his least difficult one is he's buying shares of RCP. The other difficult one is what's he going to do with MZA? MZA is poised to make money for him, so that part's not a problem. The rest of it is. So, but he's going to buy some shares of RCP. So he's at 4. RCP is worth $250. So it's going to take a little bit of his money. So $250, but RCP is a government, so it just goes to the bank. But you get to add another share of RCP to the Trump fund. And I just added another share there, so he's up to 5 shares. Okay, so that's Trump. Now it gets to us. We're maxed out on this. We're not maxed out on SB or DSJ. DSJ is our priority. DSJ is sitting at 165. So let's buy some shares of DSJ. So 150, 65 to DSJ, and we get a share, and that puts us up to 5 shares of DSJ. Okay, so then we get to Medici. Medici is maxed out on SFR and SFAI, and he's just buying other shares of stuff. So he's going to buy a share of GWR because he can, and he's actually doing amazing in that regard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. GWR is currently 180, and it has not done an OE run yet. So that's the amazing part about GWR. So there's 200. And $20 back. Okay, so he bought, just made a big mess. He bought a share of GWR, so he's up to 3 now. Sorry if I was blocking things. Okay, so now we get to Troikovsky, who still doesn't have max everything. So he's going to buy a share of his stuff, WW, for 150. So he will do that, and then that will max him out on the WW. So 150, but unfortunately that goes to the bank because WW took all of its cash. Okay, then it gets to De Gaulle, or no, Wellington. Wellington can't buy any more GWR. That's some of his issue. But he can buy a lawnmower, and he's going to do that. So lawnmower is 180. So 150, 75, 80 for a lawnmower. And so Wellington is now at 5 shares. Okay, and then De Gaulle. De Gaulle's only shares that he doesn't have is his plum shares. And those are 225. So he will pay that to the bank and get a share of plum from the bank. So he's up to 5 shares. Now the cert limit for this game, and the 6-player game, is 24. I don't think we have to start counting yet, but we're getting close. Trump, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to buy 1 more share of RCP, and I think we said that was $250 a share. So 250, and he's going to get RCP from the bank. So Trump is maxed out on his RCP, which he's happy with. Then it's to us, and we're gonna have to do 165, 150, 65 to DSJ, and we're maxed out on DSJ. We can't buy any more. Okay, so, but that was a good boost for DSJ. Medici is going to keep buying GWR, and I think we said these are 180. So 150, 70, 80. It's going to buy, I think it's the last share of GWR. It is. So he's going to own 4 shares of GWR. That's his style. That's how he rolls. So now we go to Tchaikovsky. He's looking at, he's maxed out on MSP. 2, 3. He needs one more lizard. And lizard is 150. So he'll pay 150 to the bank and get a share of lizard and add it to his empire. Okay, next is Wellington. Wellington is going to buy a share of lawnmower for 165, or no, 180. 150, 75, 80. And he got a share of lawnmower. So he's up to 6 shares now of lawnmower. All right, and De Gaulle. He's going to buy the last share of plum, and that was 225. Well, last share of plum that he can buy. So De Gaulle has maxed out on all of his personal companies. So that's good. De Gaulle's playing a great game. Okay, Trump has to choose. Is he buying MZA? He doesn't really want to. So what he's going to do is he's going to buy Bell. So Bell is a $165 company. So 150, 65 goes to Bell. Sorry, I'm reaching really far. Okay. And then this share of Bell belongs to Trump. So we got to grab a chip and put it on. Okay. Next is us. We can still buy some SB, 2 more shares. SB is worth 165. So I'm taking 165, put it in the bank. I'm going to buy another share of our company. So we're up to 5. Okay, so next is Medici. He's going to buy a share of lawnmower. And that is, we said, was 180. 150. Well, we'll just do 200. I'm going to put this down and get some change from lawnmower here. Sorry, he didn't have exact change, so it got annoying. Okay, so lawnmower is owned at 4 shares and 5 shares. So Medici right now is owning everything that Wellington owns, but at 4 shares. Wellington owns 6. So this is an interesting play, how this is turning out. So Tchaikovsky, he's still gonna go internal. So he's at 4 shares for MKV. He needs 2 more. MKV is at 150. And yes, it's all out of the game. So 100 just taking $50 out. 150, we're going to grab MKV from here and put it here. Okay, next. De Gaulle. Okay, he can finally start buying other people's shares. Wellington is sold out except for his GSWR. And so one of the things you'll hear players say, who has not done an OE run yet? And right now, Bell is the only answer. Lawnmower and GWR are other answers, but they are sold out. So Bell is the only one that has not done an OE run yet. So Bell becomes the most attractive stock in the game because Bell has the potential to bump 3 more times. So unfortunately, he owns Bell, so he can't do it. He probably should have bought Lawnmower and GWR while they were available. So now he goes to next best, which could be, you look at it 2 ways. You can look at it as a government because that'll make you good cash, or you can look at it as a company because in the long run it'll make you good cash and also good stock value. So RCP is a government that is actually worth the most in the game, and same with MIDI. So he's going to buy a share of MIDI. So MIDI is 250. So he's going to buy a share of MIDI for 250. And that money does go to MIDI. And so I'm going to be doing super stretching again. I'm just going to put some shares down here. All right, so a share of MIDI is going on the board. And that belongs to De Gaulle. Sorry, my dog's in the way. So we're going to do that. Okay. After De Gaulle is Trump. Trump is doing the exact opposite. He's buying Bell. So Bell, I know I looked this up before, 165. So 150, 65. And of course Bell is all the way on the other end of the table as well. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab the shares because they're going to be bought. So Trump owns another share of Bell. So he owns another 2 shares. Okay, so then it gets to us. We could be jumping in on the bandwagon and buying Bell. That's not a bad idea, but I'm going to just finish us out. And we're going to get SB for 165. So we'll finish us out at 165. So we're capped out now. 150, 65. And what I mean by capped out is we bought everything that we can buy of our own stuff. Okay, so now it gets to Medici. He is going to buy a Bell, the last one. So I need to find a Medici token, which is the dark blue, and put that on the last Bell, like so. And he owes 165, so he's going to pay 200. I got to go make change, so I'm putting the camera down. $70, $80, $90, $100. Okay, so Medici gets the change. All right, then we go to Tchaikovsky. He's still buying his MKVs, and they were 150. So 150 to the bank. MKV for himself. Next is Wellington. Wellington needs to buy GSWR or he's going to lose it. So that's 150. So he'll pay 150. and get a share of his GSWR. So he's finally up to 3 shares here. And then DeGaulle is going to buy another share of MIDI. And I think we agreed MIDI was worth $225. $225. Or did I say $250? Oh, it's worth $250. So we'll grab another 25 and give it to him and take another MIDI for Mr. DeGaulle. Okay, so next is Trump, who can't buy another Bell. So Trump could buy his own MZA. Still an option. He doesn't like that option, so he's going to look up here. RCP is his. MIDI is his. Plum is not his, so he could go Plum. SFAI is a private, and so is BHB. So he likes both of those and what they can do. He's aware of what I'm doing with BHB because I'm him. SFAI. So the next thing that players would do is they would say, how many trains do you have? So I would say, I have a 5 and a 4. And they would say, well, that's not good enough. And then they would go to SFAI, and he says, I have a 4 and a 3, which he doesn't have because that 3 melted. So he has only a 4. And then they would say, that's awful. So that's exactly how it would play out. So he'll say, I'll have a 4 train, but if you buy my shares, I can afford a 6 plus 6. So if you buy my shares, I promise I'll buy a 6 plus 6. And so that's how it plays out. And the DSJ company lost his 3 train as well. So okay, so that kind of back and forth does happen. And it's not very different than how I described it. But, you know, between the two, BHB has more tokens in more places, and BHB has better trains. So he would choose BHB. So I'm going to, I know I'm biased, so I have to rationally justify them buying my shares. But in this case, they would. And my shares are worth $225. So Trump would pay $225 and get a share of BHB. And we got to just put the Trump symbol on it so we know that he has a share. Okay, so then we're going to move on. And of course, Trump can screw me by selling those shares and blah, blah, blah. That's all part of the game. So moving on, it's to us. So we can buy a share. SFAI is not a bad share from a value perspective. RCP is actually, it's a government company, but it's the highest value stock in the game. And so is MIDI. But the problem is oh, there is 1 share of MIDI left. I hate buying just 1 share of a stock because when I'm playing solo, that's just so much crap I have to keep track of. And so I do sometimes intentionally avoid buying that 1 share because I know DeGaulle will buy it and I'm just going to let DeGaulle have it. And I can tell you in a real game, you're going to buy that 1 share of MIDI. I think MIDI is better than RCP. By a long shot, it's better. Oh, yeah, we got to buy a share of MIDI. That's the right thing to do in this game. So MIDI is a $250 stock. So 250. I'm going to go put it on their stack of doom over here. So they now have $1 million in cash. And we're going to grab MIDI and put one of our stocks, our symbols on it. So now MIDI is owned by 3 different companies there, or 3 different players. Okay, so it's back to Medici. Medici sees RCP, it sees MIDI. Medici would buy, he can't buy SFAI, he already has SFAI. So that doesn't do him any good. So for him it's either RCP or BHB. Well, he could buy Plum. So Medici still has a lot of shares, or a lot of dollars, so he can definitely buy something, and yeah, he's going to get a little Trump-esque. He's going to spend $100 and he's buying a share of MZA. So MZA is now owned by Medici. Trump doesn't like that because he knows what he's doing. They're antagonizing each other. That's what they're doing. So he's forcing Trump to buy shares of his own company. And he's not going to let Trump get away with buying everybody else's shares. So next is Tchaikovsky. And I believe Tchaikovsky has bought everything there is to buy from his own companies. So now he's buying somebody else's stuff, and he's going to buy RCP. He's just going to go straight up for value. So RCP is $250. So $250 to the bank, and I need to find RCP. And Tchaikovsky's symbol is the red. Oh boy. Okay. RCP owned by red. Okay, that was him. Now Wellington going to buy another share of his GSWR, which is 150. So for 150, Wellington's going to buy another GSWR. I know it's hard for you to see here, but it's way up against the wall there. Okay, then we get to De Gaulle. De Gaulle was buying MIDI. Can't buy any more of that. De Gaulle is looking at the situation, and he would buy, he's going to buy SFAI. So SFAI is 225. So 225, and all that goes to the bank. And we're going to grab an SFAI. Oh, never mind. SFAI is not a government company. 225 goes to SFAI. So get a share of that. And I'm just going to put it sideways down here. And we need another De Gaulle token. So bear with me while I stretch. Like so. Oh, here's the SFAI down here. Okay. Then after De Gaulle is Trump. Trump sees what they're doing with MZA, So he has to buy a share of MZA. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100. So he buys a share of MZA. Okay, Medici is not sure he wants to keep buying MZA. Likes just keeping Trump honest there. All Trump has to do is buy one more and guarantee that no one can take the company from him. The thing with Medici is we probably need to count his shares, or certificates. So Medici is the dark blue token. So starting up here, you can see he has one. That's the Bell share. Then if you come down, he has 2. And then for the GWR, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He's at 21 out of his 24. And then he has 2 shares over here, but those will go away. He's okay with that. So he can buy 3 more shares, basically. So he needs to make them count. So what he's going to do is he can't buy SFAI because that's his. So he's going to buy either RCP or BHB, and he's going to choose BHB. So $225 to BHB. And we need to get another Medici token for that. Okay, so now we get to Tchaikovsky. Same deal. We're going to have to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the MSP. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the Lizard. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on the W. So 5, 10, 50. He has 20 shares right there. Okay. So then he has 21 shares in RCP. And he is buying another RCP, by the way. So $250 for him. And buy a share of RCP. Like so. Okay, next is Wellington. I don't think Wellington is at his max at all, but Wellington is the light blue. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He only has 13 shares of anything. So he's got a long way to go. GSWR, we said, was 150, so he's going to spend 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and get another share of GSWR. So he's up to 5 shares of that now. Okay, next is De Gaulle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Chin. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with Plum. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 with Bell. 18, 19 for MIDI. 20 for SFAI. So he's going to buy a share of SFAI for $225. So he'll give $250. Take 25 back. And he's got a share. Okay, then we get to Trump. Trump's RCP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. MIDI 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13 for Bell. 14 for our BHB. 15, 16, 17 for MZA. So he's still got a way to go. He's going to buy a share of BHB for $225, right? Yeah. Because he doesn't want Medici getting any more shares of that. BHB is sold out, by the way. That's good news for us. Okay, next is us. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're only at 16, and then we bought 1 share of MIDI for 17. Okay, that's it. So we have a long way to go. Now, you can always buy from the bank for double the price. So SB right now is $165. If I want to pay, what would that be, $330, I can get another share of SB if it's in the bank, and it is. Sometimes that's worth it, sometimes it's not. Now, why would I do that? The reason you do it is because if you get all 10 shares at the end of the stock round, the stock will automatically move up, and that's a nice way to get a bonus bump, right? But I don't think I don't have enough money to buy at $330 a share, enough to get all 10 shares purchased. So it's not worth it. BHB I can't do that with, it's sold out, and DSJ is owning its own shares, so can't do anything about that either. So we want to buy somebody else's something. RCP is available. It's the highest value stock in the game. MIDI is out, meaning it's sold out. Plum is available. It's the second highest stock in the game. What's underneath Plum? SFAI, I think, is available. There's one share left. And then BHB is us. So if you just look over here, that just went through the first 3 stacks there. Then you got Lawnmower, GWR, and I think underneath that is SFR. And then everything else is just filling up the rear. Bell still hasn't done an OE run, so it's going to get a nice bump. You're going to see it bump way up. But the problem with Bell is just that it's sold out. People already knew that. So so there's going to be no bump for you. So our choices are, we can buy these lower value stocks and own more of them, and then of course get paid for them, or we can buy the higher value stuff and own less, because we're only at 17 shares, 17 certificates. So if we buy these higher value stuff like RCP, that costs $250. That's going to be, we're going to buy 1 share and be done. Okay. Or I can buy 2 shares of MZA for $100 each. Now the idea is that later on I would sell MZA and then buy other shares later. But here's the thing, if I don't buy shares now, other people are still buying shares, and so if I, for example, buy the RCP, that will help me to have the most valuable stock in the game, and I won't be able to buy anything else. But I will at least have denied the other players from having the most valuable stock in the game. Now, the strategy of buying like 3 shares of MZA is because now I'm going to get paid times 3, because MZA is going to make something. It has 2-3 trains. In fact, it has more than that, because he would have grabbed another one at the end of his turn. So he has a 9 plus 9. So it's not chump change stuff. But I think I have no choice but to do the 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we're going to get the last of the RCPs. And actually there's still 2 RCPs left, but we're going to get one of them. And we'll take a red chip and get RCP up here. I know the real estate's getting small. Just didn't want to cover up those whistle stops for Spain there. Yeah, it's a good move. We're losing this game. We're not winning right now. Okay. Just thinking. Okay, Medici's up. He gets to buy a share. BHB is sold out. He can't buy SFAI, that's his. RCP still has 1 left. What did Medici start buying? He started buying MZA. That was dumb. MIDI's gone. Plum is the next highest one. And Chin is actually up there in terms of value. he sees an opportunity though, and he's going to buy a chin. Wouldn't be bad. He's looking at DSJ. So here's what's going through his mind. He doesn't want to buy more national companies, the governments. He wants to buy something that's not national. So right now his choices are Chin and DSJ. Everything else is pretty much sold out. And we can take a quick look here. See, MIDI and RCP are at the top. They're both sold out. Well, RCP is available, but it's a national. Plum is a national. SFAI is his own. BHB is below that, so sold out. Chin is the next one available. Lawnmower, GWR, both sold out. Bell sold out. SFR is underneath GWR. That's his. GSWR is a national. Lizard is a national. Those Russian companies underneath him are available. However, DSJ is worth more and is also available. That's where the logic comes in. It's either Chin or DSJ. I hope that makes sense. So what he wants to do is he wants to buy whichever one he can get sold out. And Chin has, looks like 3 shares left, and DSJ has 4 shares left. So he's going to go with Chin. And Chin is $200 a share. So he'll pay $200. Go to Chin. And of course I gotta walk for this one. The shares were underneath the money. So Chin, we'll go up here and we'll get a blue token to show that Medici has Chin. Now Medici is running out of money. So that might be it. And let's do one last count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16. Let's get that out. 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 for Bell, 22. One of these companies needs to close, so he's going to close that. And he has one left. I don't think he's going to be able to buy it, a last share of something. So Troikovsky has 2 more shares he can buy. And he's been buying RCP, and he will buy 1 more share of RCP for $250. And I think that's the last share of RCP. So he's up there, and I think he can buy 1 more share. We'll find out. Wellington can buy 1 more share of GSWR for $150, and he will for $150. And he's at least up to his 6 shares of that. Wellington finally owns everything he's supposed to own of his own stuff. De Gaulle. He was buying SFAI. SFAI is still available for $225, and he will do exactly that. And I think that's the last share of SFAI. Trump. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Trump still has a ways to go. He is running out of money. So he's going to buy a share of MZA. 50, 75, 100. So he can at least get some cash for from MZA. That's $5. And that's $25. Okay, so Trump just has chump change left. And he still has this CC token. We got to use it. And MIDI will be the one. Okay. Us. We're out of money, as you can see. So we're done. We pass. The only people who have money are Wellington and Tchaikovsky. We have to count Tchaikovsky one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's 20 in just his own shares. And then 23 there, and the cert limit is 24. So he can buy one more share of something. And he just wants to buy the most valuable, which would be plum. So he's going to buy a plum. Plum is $2.25. So we'll get a plum out here. And this is Tchaikovsky, so it's going to be one of the red ones. Tchaikovsky's done. He can't buy anything else. Wellington, on the other hand, has a lot of room. So this token, by the way, he can block the English channel. He's not going to because he has two companies that use it. The only reason he owns it is to prevent others from blocking the English channel, and so that's his benefit there. So looking at the shares, Plum is the next one he could buy, and so is Chin. Wellington doesn't want a national though. So it's back to Chin and DSJ. So DSJ is cheaper than Chin. It's $165. And the unfortunate part is he can only buy, two of them. And he needs to buy 4. And with Chin, he needs to buy 3. At least I think so. Let me look at Chin. Nope, he needs to buy 2. So he's going to buy Chin. That is the next one he's going to buy. Chin is 200. So he's going to buy Chin twice because he's the last one to go. De Gaulle's going to be the next player. So he's going to buy 2 shares of Chin. And Chin is sold out now. So unfortunate for us, only one of ours sold out. We really needed more shares to sell out in order for us to have a chance in this game. But we just never showed our worth. Okay, I think the stock round is over. And everybody should be at decent counts now. So we come over to here and we have to give everybody their bumps. So the first set of bumps is for, everybody's sold out. RCP and MIDI are both sold out. Plum is not sold out. SFII and BHB is. Chin is sold out. Lawnmower and GWR are sold out. Bell is sold out, so it actually moves up like that. Neither of these are sold out. And I think that's it. Nobody else is sold out. Okay, so that's how it works. All right, coming back, We're going to do operating round 1. We still get 40 bucks because we haven't hit our limit for certificates. So no worries for us. I think Trump still gets his $45 because he didn't hit his limit. But only $5 for Medici because Medici is near his limit. Now here's what's crazy. I told you guys the last playthrough that whoever hits their cert limit first is winning the game from a general rule of thumb perspective. That was Tchaikovsky. Now, this might be the one case where BMIs are not trustable because Tchaikovsky has a very low stock portfolio. But he, everywhere else, is doing amazing, and he's making good cash, which is what you have to do to overcome that. So he's making good cash, and Medici is second with cash, and of course De Gaulle is doing just fine on his own as well. Wellington, Trump, and me are all bringing up the rear. I couldn't tell you which one of us is. I think we might be dead last right now. Trump has 2 of the best stocks in the game. We don't. We have 2 of the worst, or middle ground stocks. Wellington has 2 of the best stocks in the game. We don't. So our cash is no better than them. In fact, it was worse. And that's why I think we're dead last. So this is pathetic. But some of it is because I wanted to go government here, and it never happened. The other part of it is I told you that people who pick Germany lose, and guess which one I picked? I picked Germany. It's crazy, but it's just how it works sometimes, and I don't know what's going on or what I did so wrong. I did want that $800 cash so I can give it to other companies, so I don't know. I just don't know. The DSJ we never developed. I think, if anything, I overspent my money in the beginning of the game and never had enough to invest in my companies the way they should have been. So anyways, getting back to this. Operating round 1, RCP is up. RCP is a government. I'm looking at RCP. He's a 9+9, but you can see he has a bunch of 2+2s there. That's going to change. He's going to flip those to 3+3s. So he's not going to do super fantastic, but he will spend his 9 points. And to get to brown, it's 4 points. So we're going to just take 2 of these yellows for 8 points. Just bump them straight up to brown. Brown town. And then get one more. And I just realized a mistake. There's no port here. So I technically can't count this red zone until somebody puts a track here and connects it. So only the governments would have done that. And just trust me, this red zone's, look, it's only worth 40 bucks. It's a crappy red zone anyways. So it's a minor error, but yeah, we got a 9+9. So I'm gonna go Madrid for 80. And then red zone Casablanca 60 for 2, 80 South America for 3, 60 for 4, and Portugal. And then 5 and 6 is 120 for the 2 Y cities. And then 7, 8, 9 is going to be 40 plus 40 plus 40 for the 3 brown cities. And then as far as whistle stops go, Trump does get this special whistle stop, that little lumber company, and that's worth $40. So that's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 times 20, and then 1 for $10. And then a Pullman for 30. $74 a ship for Trump. So RCP pays 74 times 3, and 74 times 6, and 74 times 1. All right, so we get $74 for us because we own 1 share. Here's the share distribution. So then 444 goes to Trump. So that was pretty good. And then 222 goes to Troikovsky, like he needs more money. Okay, RCP moves up. Now we have MIDI next. MIDI, of course, is not a... So MIDI needs to start thinking, well, he was able to do an OE run, so that's not an issue. His trains are a 5+5 and a 4+4. So he is limited to 2 trains now. So that's one thing we need to bear in mind. So he needs his government to buy a train from him in order for him to be able to buy a train. And actually, that's the thing. Right now, RCP went. So this is a chance for Trump's government to buy a train. And what he's going to do is he's going to... So the question on the table is, do we want RCP to buy the 4 train from MIDI, which will then let MIDI buy another train, which would be a 6+6? And the answer is no. We're going to let it go. If anybody's going to buy from it, it'll be MZA. He'll let MZA buy the train later. So we're going to just run a 4+4 and a 5+5 because that's going to be good money. And Trump wants to get some money going here. So the 5+5 and 4+4. So if we do Constantinople for 1, this for 2, that for 3, that for 4, and America for 5, that's a 5+5, easy peasy. And then for a 4+4, he's here. I'm just realizing I have all kinds of problems. I knocked over a lot of money. Okay, this one, I can't go from Constantinople through here because I don't have a token there. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to do the 4 through America. The 5 is going to have to go from Constantinople to 3, 4, and then I need to figure out how to get out of Paris to hit a 5th, which is not easy. In fact, it's impossible, it seems. So it means I have to loop in and loop out. So there's these loop in and loop outs there. And right now there's no track that allows me to do that. So I can try to spend my 6 track points to do that, but I'm not going to. So what I'm going to do instead is, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 track points. And 2 more. Like so. And I still have 2 more track points. I found one of these, by the way. They were in a container that it wasn't supposed to be in, so somebody put it in the wrong spot. So that was a good find. Okay, so MIDI is going to place a token in Berlin. And he's going to put his expensive $80 token there. Because Trump has this Wien, see that there? That lets him place a token for free. So that's going in Berlin. So by bypassing that Belgium city, he can go from Berlin to Hamburger for 2, 3, 4, and then 5 in Constantinople. So it's going to be a good run. So let's try to turn this so you can see it. Constantinople, plus 60, plus 60, plus 60, plus 90. That's the route all the way to Berlin. Okay, and then yeah, easily 5 whistle stops along the way. Okay, then America is 100 plus 60 plus 80 for Madrid plus 60. So that's 4. Then we have some whistle stops. 3 of them, or one of them is a $40 whistle stop, and then 3 times 20, because remember it's Trump. $91 a share. That's a good run. And I'm very grateful we own one of those shares. So we get $91. That was well done. And then looking at the rest of MIDI, de Gaulle's going to get 91 times 2. He gets 182. So he's starting his mini empire. And then Trump himself, $637. Whew. That was well done for Trump. Okay, so you know, it's funny because Trump has not really been the antagonist in this game. The antagonist would be buying other people's shares and then selling them. He's basically played an America First game, and it's working. I never even thought that that was a strategy. And he's doing it with MIDI of all companies. Okay, SFAI is next. All right, SFAI is a private. It probably wants to help. Let's look at their train. SFAI only has a 4 train, so he's going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 OE run. And you can see there he has 1, 2, 3 whistle stops that are upgraded, so he is going to upgrade one, this one. I know it helps France, but it's helping him. So he's going to get all 4 of them are upgraded. And he still has 4 points left, and so he's just going to upgrade Naples, Italy, to help our government out. And I know it's hard to see because this is in the way, but the situation is finally becoming tenable. So you can actually connect to it from the sea, and it's all connected together. So anyways, that helps the government. All right, so the 4 train is going to be a simple 80 plus 140 plus 60 plus 60. And then 4 times 20. He's running for 420. So 42 a share for SFAI. So 42 times 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is 294 for Medici. So we've got that in place. And then 3 shares for De Gaulle. So 42 times 3 is 126 for De Gaulle. Now remember, the SFAI thing was weak. DSJ is actually in better shape than SFAI, but SFAI was worth more. So that's why they did it. But I believe SFAI is going to be able to buy a train right now. And that was one of the goals of everybody buying him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, easy peasy. So he did buy a train. So he's now going to be in much better shape the next time he goes. 6 plus 6, 4 plus 4. Okay, after SFAI is BHB. That's us. And I did move us up because I'm confident we're going to hit our run. Now BHB has a 5 plus 5 and a 4 plus 4. And remember, we have Israel back there. 1, 2. We're going to skip that green city. 3, 4, 5 to Berlin. And then we're going to go from America for 1. And we're going to skip that Y city we have our token in for 2. And then hit Birmingham for 2. London for 3. And then we have a 4th. So we could just hit Hamburg for 4. And that's where I was talking about. I should have maybe put my plus 40 token up there, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So anyways, let's do our math. America's 100, 80 for Birmingham, 90 for London, and then 60 for Hamburg. Okay, that's 330. I do get to hit whistle stops, which is amazing, but I do get to hit them. And it's going to be, how many can I hit? I can hit 3. Well, I can hit 4. I can hit 4, all upgraded, yeah. So, plus 4 times 20 for the whistle stops. Okay, so then 140 for Constantinople, plus 80 for Vienna, plus 80 for Israel. So that's 3. And then it's 100 for our upgraded city, and then 90 for Berlin. So that's a miracle run there. That's 900. And then we're going to add upgraded whistle stops. I have 40 along the way for 2 of them. I need 3 more. And guess what? I have 6 track points. So I'm going to just upgrade 3 whistle stops along the route, and I'll figure that out as soon as we're done with this math. So, so it's going to be 60 more. So we're going to have fully upgraded whistle stops. $1,000 run. Now that is a BHB, folks. This is what we've been waiting for the whole game. So we finally did it. $100 a share. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 shares. We finally get $700. That's more than we had, I think, during the last stock round. 3, 4, 5, 6. $700 goes to us. And 200 goes to Trump. And 100 goes to Medici. So they did a good job investing in us. And we have tons of money for another train, but we can't buy one yet because we need to sell a train and make room. And that will happen as soon as our government company goes and takes his turn. So I'm just organizing some money here. Okay, So that was well done. That was a 5 train and a 4 train, and we just did bunkers. So very, very happy with that. That was an excellent run. And usually you need gray trains to get there. I thought Trump did well with a $91 run. Okay, so we definitely moved up once. We could have half-capped, we could have done stuff, but see this big stack of 100s? That's perfect. That's what we want. And obviously he doesn't get any money because he's sold out, but we could have half-capped, which meant we paid out less, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to get some money selling some trains, and I'm going to bank on that, and we'll go from there. But BHB did extremely well. So now we go to Plum. Oh, we got to upgrade the track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this one for 4. Actually, we got to do the green track, right? Because I only have 6 track points. So I may be short. I may be short, folks, because I can clearly do these 2 here and get 2 of them. Oh, I have this here. That's a $20 right there. So I was able to do it. But we're going to upgrade the this one. So yes, because of that ferry and us having tokens, I was able to get another $20 whistle stop there. But otherwise, yes, I would have been 1 short. Okay, so we go to Plum. And Plum is a French government, so we just need 9 track points worth of stuff. Plum, I'm peeking over at Plum. Well, a couple of things. First of all, RCP does not have 4 trains. We did RCP wrong, but I'm not going to go back and fix it. RCP should have only had 3 trains, and one of the 2s would have gone away. So we made a mistake. We gave RCP too much money. I think RCP paid out $74. It would have been whatever 2 trains worth less. And the reason I'm noticing that is because Plum has the exact same problem. So we're going to take away one of its trains. Plum is a 7+7. He should be fine, so it's just a matter of upgrading stuff. So we're going to hit. I think we're going to just do cities. So 2, 4, 6 in the cities. And then I have 3 more track points. So I'll go up to green on this one, like so. Okay, it's a 7+7 for him. Algiers is a $60. His 4 Y cities is 60. So that's 5. And then Paris is 80 for 6. And then just pick any of those cities for 40 for 7. And I'm pretty confident he's got 7 upgraded whistle stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, don't tell me he doesn't have 7. I probably should have spent my stuff upgrading the whistle stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is all I count. All right, 54 a share for Plum. And so that's 378 for De Gaulle. De Gaulle's packing up some nice money. And then I think Troikovsky has one, so 54 bucks for Troikovsky. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so Plum's gonna go up. And then Chin is next. Chin is only sitting on a 4+4. They are in France and Spain. He belongs to De Gaulle, so he's going to help. I think he wants to help France, but he also needs to help himself. Well, he actually can do an OE run. He doesn't need to. So his OE run's set. He's going to just go from Portugal to Constantinople. So yeah, he's just going to help his government and get some track upgraded here. So we're just going to get 2, 4, 6. Two, 4, 6. And his 4 train going to run for 60 plus 80 plus 60 plus 140 plus so 42 a share for Chin. So 42 times 7 is 294 for De Gaulle. And then you can see that Blue Medici has 1 share for 42. And I'm putting that down here. And then the light blue belongs to Mr. Wellington. So he bought some. So he has 2 of them for $42, so that's 84. So 50, 75, 85. And put $1 back. And Wellington's money is still sparse, but he hasn't really run yet. So Chin is done. And now we have lawnmower and GWR. Those are the next 2. Then it looks like it's that stack with SFR and then finally SB much later. So our trains, or our companies, are really low in the pecking order here. The thing with all these government companies is they can't buy a train. But I keep forgetting, when these government companies end their turn, they need to decide, are they buying trains from other people? Chin is not one of them, but Plum was. And Plum has those 2 trains, so he's definitely getting out of the 2 train business. So he could buy a 4 train from Bell. And I think he's going to, so Bell can afford to buy another train. So I'm going to take these 2 yellows, get rid of them for Plum. And every time, so like every time a government runs, I need to remember to do this. I'm going to take 1 3 train from the pool. That's going to go to Plum. And he's going to buy the 4 train from Bell So that way Bell can have room to buy another train. And so that's going to give Bell $175. So that's done. Oh, I forgot to give $50 goes to MIDI. So his cash empire has grown even more. Okay, so sorry about all that. So now it's lawnmower and GWR. Oh, no it's not. Chin gets to buy a train. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Chin is going to buy a train for $600. And 6 train is gone. So he has a 6 plus 6 and a 4 plus 4 now. Okay, now it's lawnmower and then GWR. A lot of the upgrades are already done, but they're going to upgrade, because here's a couple of things. They need to start seriously thinking OE run. So that's the first step. The second step is they need to, there's some whistle stops that need to be upgraded, stuff of that nature. But first things first, let's look at lawnmower. He only has a 4 plus 4 train. He's not doing an OE run with that. But he can actually, but we have to be a little creative. So we're going to do that right now. He could spend $40 to place a token somewhere. He has a North Seas token. So remember, he gets to discount 2 sea zones with it. If you look at where he's at, he can discount 2 sea zones. He can discount the North Sea there in Skagerrak, whatever that is. So then that means there's only 2 sea zones, and he can put a token in St. Petersburg. And in doing that, he can do an OE run. Pretty simple, huh? So that's something he can do. Now GWR is going to have a different plan, because there won't be a spot for GWR to put a token there. But that's the idea, is you just get creative. You just go find a spot and pay a bunch of money. And so he has to go through 2 sea zones. That's $40 per sea zone. So that'd be $80 for the sea zone and then $40. He would have to pay $120. And he's going to do that. So he's going to pay 100 and 10, 15, 20. All right, so he paid $120, and he's going to take his lawnmower token. Now here's the lesson learned. If you're going to be Wellington, it was all fine and dandy that he took the L company and also everything was in England, but you see how stuck he is? If you would have just started a miner over in Russia while you were also in England, then you would have merged that miner, and guess what? You get all the tokens. And so then all of a sudden, boom, you got your OE run while you're still sitting in England. So that's the trick. But anyways, this is going to do the job for him. He has a 4 train, and he'll be able to run 1 and just, pick anything along the way, and then Moscow and St. Petersburg for 2 and 3. And then he would hit another little one for 4. Now the drawback is he's got a brilliant run over here that would make him more money. So he may be stuck doing that because it'll make him more money. This one, he can even do America for 1, London for 2, Birmingham for 3, Scotland for 4, and remember he's got the +1/+1, so then he can hit the Norway up there for 5. So let's get some track upgraded, and then I'm just gonna pick some of the whistle stops and get them upgraded up there. So there's a 2, 4, and a 6. and the whistle stops that I upgraded are just, they might be used. So I upgraded this one to green, and that one to brown. That's a big one. And then this one's another big one right here. Yeah, we're going to do that run. It's a more lucrative run. He doesn't have to OE yet. So 100 for America, 80 for Birmingham, 90 for London, 60 for Scotland, and then 80, I believe, for, yep, 80 for Norway. And then 4 times 20, actually 5 times 20, 510 bucks. And that was easy peasy to hit, $51. If he would have done the Constantinople, that would have been 140 plus 80 plus 80 plus 80. Actually, that's not a bad run. Plus 60 plus 5 times 20. Ooh, actually Constantinople would have been more. So he's going to do his OE run. Okay, so 54 a share for lawnmower. And he owns 6 shares, so 54 times 6. Wellington gets 324. And Medici is going to make some bling. 216. Okay, so that was good. And then lawnmower gets a 4-point bump. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's up at the very top now. And Mr. Medici is just cackling with brilliance. Okay, so lawnmower needs to get a train, and he would benefit from having one of those doubler trains, but he needs a train now. So I'm just sorting stuff out here. Okay, so he has 100, 200, 300, 4, 5, 600, and then he would have some leftovers. He has to buy a train. That's not an issue. He might be able to sell his 4+4, get some more money, but he is short of being able to buy a doubler. But he's not short by an awful lot. So if he can make some money next round and maybe half cap, he'll get a doubler. The doublers aren't even unlocked yet, but that's the whole point. So he'll take his 6 train for now, and he's got a 6+6 and a 4+4. And he also has a 1+1, so that's a lot of insanity. Okay, now it's GWR's turn. GWR needs to figure out how to do the same thing. So one of the things that I know a lot of them are planning on doing is they're going to lay some track from Berlin, connect it over to Warsaw there, and then connect, so Berlin to Constantinople that way. But if you'll notice, it's all blocked out. GWR can't go there. GWR does have a North Seas token. It's not in Scotland, so it can't count those 2 sea zones like Lawnmower did. It would have to start down here in the English Channel and discount 1 sea zone, 2 sea zones, so then he would have to go through 1, 2, 3 sea zones to get up there. So that's a lot more problematic. However, there's something that is crazy. How much money does he have? So he can discount that sea zone and then the sea zone that all those tokens are in. Then you have the North Atlantic for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sea zones. That would be $240. Woo! That's a lot of bling. How much money does GWR have? He's got the 240. Okay, so here's the crazy thing GWR can do. He can pay to go through all these C-zones, $240, and just put a token, bling, right there. Constantinople's got a spot. That's a lot of insanity. The other thing he can do is just from London, trace a path. But like I said, Berlin is blocked. So he'd have to bypass Berlin, which is, you know, he'd have to spend trek points to do that. And then he would have to connect there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 more for there. That's a 7 track point way. And that's not even counting the fact that can he even do it? And the answer is he is, you know, he's got a 5+5, which is helpful, but it's still not enough. He can put a token in Hamburg there, but that still doesn't help him. He still has to get, he'd have to pay to remove these. And let's just look at that. I mean, remember we were talking $240 for him to do, I mean, that would be 60 and 90. That's $150 to remove those. And if he removes those, then it makes it available for everybody else, which he doesn't necessarily want to do. And it's not that much more money than just putting a token down here. That's where the insanity comes. Now, could he do something a little less crazy? Yeah, he could. He could put a token in Portugal. The problem is that once he hits this C-zone, he has nothing to help him. So that doesn't really help him. He needs to get into Russia or into, and he could, you know, put a token way up there in that green zone. Doesn't do him any good. His only bet is to put a token in one of these cities and then plow the track straight across so that way he can go down through. But is it a smart move or not? I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 240 plus 40 is 280. 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, $280. $280, and we're going to go through all those C-zones to do this. So he's guaranteed an OE run because he has a token in OE. And so he's just going to go up to St. Petersburg there with one of his trains. He has a 5 train, a 4 train, and a 2. So with the four train, he can do an OE run over here. The 2 train is easy. That's just going to be America to there. And then his 5 train, he'll figure out, you know, some combination of stuff up there. So that's not too difficult for him. And he can, like, you know, go all the way to Paris or whatever. So the next question on his mind is, does he want to remove this? Because since there's 3 here, he can then benefit from Israel. And Israel's not bad. It's a $60 pay to get an $80 city added to his list. But remember, Mr. Wellington is about premium. So those Brits will pay anything. So I will do it. And that's $60 more. That is a significant amount of his money. I don't want to count that as trivial. He's not going to be able to buy another train, at least not right now. But remember, we can half cap, and he has 300. He has $500 left. He was at $800 before we started this. So I just cost him 300 of those dollars. So at $800, he could have bought a doubler train. But let's just work this out. He has 3 trains he's running. So if he half caps, he's still going to pay out a good amount of money to his owners, and he'll be able to keep some money for himself. So let's do that. Let's start with Constantinople. So with the Levant being opened, that's $80 for Israel, $140 for Constantinople, $80 for St. Petersburg, $80 for Moscow. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 train. And that's perfect. Okay, and then there's definitely 4 times 20 along the way for whistle stops. Okay, the 2 train is $100 plus 90 plus 40 in whistle stops. Easy. Okay, the 5 train, I have to think it through a little bit, but I basically have Birmingham for 80, London for 90, and then 1, 2, and then Paris, some Y cities, 3, 4, and then a Y city in England for 5. Okay, and then he still gets to add whistle stops. So 1, 2, 3, 4 easily, $100 in whistle stops. There you go, $114 a share for GWR, and he's going to half cap that, and it's $57 a share, which is still more than enough. He only needed $220 a share. So $57 share, he's going to keep, he's going to take $570 for the company. So $570 goes to the company. So now he's in perfect shape to buy something awesome. And he's going to get $570. He's still paying $57 a share. So GWR times 6 is $342 for Wellington. And 57 times 4 is 228 for Medici. Right? So tons of money. He can't buy a train right now. He's capped out on trains, so GSWR needs to buy that 4 train from him. But the good news is he just caused Medici to cackle some more, because he just restored his rightful spot in the premium zone. Okay, so I'm at hour 43. I'm going to quit, but we're going to start with SFR on the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.